Welcome to Inspired by Design, the podcast where we explore the tools, stories, and insights to help you rediscover your authentic self and navigate life with less resistance. I'm Katie Rupert, a former hustle and grind overachiever on a thrilling and messy journey. I love to share what I'm learning and help others in self-discovery using human design. So, if you're seeking a way to move forward, let me be your weekly mindset coach and share stories to inspire you to action towards your unique purpose without the force or burnout. Sometimes we cause ourselves a lot of pain by trying to avoid pain in the future. Obsessively analyzing, excessively controlling, plotting and pushing and doing. But there will always be an uncertain future ahead of us until the day we die, which means tomorrow will always be full of stress until we can learn to surrender to the unknown today. That was a quote from Lori Duchenne. It hit me today because I realize, with all of the work I do, with all of the yoga training that I have, with all of the life coaching training I have, and the leadership that I have really committed most of my adult life to, there's still this propensity inside of me to try and control the future, to try and tell stories about the past and make them mean, whatever my brain offers me that day, right? It just reminds me of how important it is to be intentional with what it is that you want for your life. And when I ask you, what is it that you want? If you're anything like me, that is a tough question. A lot of people, including myself, will go straight to, well, I know I don't want this. So that's a fine place to start. What is it that you don't want? But when you're looking to find out what it is that you do want, it will take some contemplation. It will take some examination of how are you showing up in your life right now? How does it feel? And right now I'm reading this book called Codependency No More. And I think that's the title. I can link up the actual title of it if you're curious. But it just talks a lot about how we have to come back to this present moment and start to feel our feelings. Allowing our feelings is so paradoxical because we think not allowing our feelings, stuffing them down, ignoring them, telling ourselves, oh, that's silly to feel that way, so let's just get busy and do something else. This is how we avoid, and it seems so innocent. It seems like, well, I got stuff to do. I'm not going to worry about it. I can worry about that later. It's not such a big deal. But every time we do that, it's like a little self-abandonment of what it is that we need, because our feelings are a result of our thoughts. And our thoughts are typically a result of the circumstances that we are in. So the way that this works is whatever's happening in your life is happening. And then we will either make up a story or have an automatic thought, and we just kind of believe that that's the truth. And the thing is, our thoughts happen with or without us. All right. So it's just going to happen. We can't, berate ourselves or judge ourselves for having thoughts, even the most intrusive of thoughts, right? Our brains just do what they do. But the thing that makes such a difference is us being able to identify, what am I feeling? What is the feeling? And I have a feelings pillow. I have a look at it and see, what can I feel into? Because it's hard to practice when you've been avoiding them for so long. It's hard to practice that. So when you identify the feeling and you know your circumstances, then you can simply start wondering, what is it that I'm thinking about the circumstance? What is the result of me feeling this way and thinking this way? And you can just take a step out of the situation and observe, not inside, not in the weeds of what's going on in your life, but more as an observer, taking yourself out of it, looking at what's going on, seeing what you're feeling. And then what's so interesting to me is our feelings, they only last a short time. They're meant to go through our body. And when we stuff them down, when we don't acknowledge them, when we think it's not a big deal, when we think we're going to deal with it later, they get stuck in our body. And this is so prevalent for every single one of us. When we start to allow our feelings just to pass through us, no matter what they are, like just allow them. This is a huge practice in self-awareness, in self-love, in being able to work through our problems. But back to my point originally, whenever we are allowing whatever happens to happen, allowing our stories and then examining them, feeling our feelings and looking at how those feelings are creating the results that we have, that's when we have more access to what it is that we want and what it is that we need. When I'm trying to figure out what I need, it really feels like this esoteric, I don't know what I need. I don't know what I want. But let's unpack this a little bit more, because we are complex creatures, right? We've got this brain that's like a computer. We've got one part of our brain that we use whenever we need it for survival mode, meaning we feel threatened. Maybe we have some childhood trauma that's happening and we don't feel safe in our bodies and we don't even realize that that's a thing. It could be that we're using the other part of our brain to make great decisions at work or as a parent or taking care of our bodies. But really the big disconnect that I see when it comes to both yoga students and coaching clients, even in my human design readings, is the disconnect between our mind and our body. And that is what I love to teach and help people with, because I know how nuanced it can be. It's not something that you can intellectually learn and then, okay, now you've done it, because it's an experience. It's an experiential thing. And for me, yoga's been a big part of this, because I have learned not only intellectually about the nervous system response, what happens when our bodies don't feel safe. They go into this fight or flight, freeze or fawn. It's not a bad thing. It's our bodies trying to protect us, trying to keep us safe. Your survival brain, it's in that mode. It's trying to take care of you. And what happens is all of the effort is put on safety. Your body thinks, oh my God, I'm going to die. And therefore, I'm going to shut off anything that's not necessary. Cognitive thinking, being able to, like that executive functioning, all of those things that help us make good decisions that we feel good about for the long term, it turns off when your body is in that side of our system, and for good cause. And not just with our brains and our thinking and making decisions that we feel good about, but also our bodies kind of freak out and they turn off everything that's not essential for the moment of trying to survive. And what that results in for a lot of people that loop back and keep that stress, and they're not managing their stress in a healthy way. They're not going back into the other side of the nervous system that says, hey, you can chill, you can rest, you can digest your food. It's going to like pause the digestion. It's going to keep you from eliminating, or opposite. A good example of this, like if you're like a marathon runner or something, I'm not a marathon runner, but from what I understand, this was the example in my class, was when you're running and your body's in stress and you've been stressed for a long time, for this extended time, your body goes into that like fight, flight, freeze or fawn mode while you're running. And sometimes that results in you eliminating without you realizing it, because the system isn't working properly. It can also go the other way where it doesn't allow you to use the restroom. So I just wanted to share that, because if you don't realize, this stuff is just automatically happening based on the way that you manage your stress. And I remember multiple times in my life where like a friend, a family member, a counselor would say to me, like, how are you doing with your stress? I'm like, I'm fine. Or they'll say, it just sounds like everything's fine except for your stress level is very high. And I'm like, stressed? I don't feel stressed. I'm fine. And that is a good example of when my body and my mind had a disconnect. I had been in this stress place for so long that is actually oddly what felt comfortable. What felt normal to me was looping, staying in that system, not giving myself enough rest and digest. And then all kinds of problems start when you are in it extendedly. So this system is meant to, for a very short time, keep you safe from dying. All right. But our brains don't really know the difference. And if we are in a mode where we think we're about to die from everything, from, oh my gosh, I'm late to an appointment, to, oh my goodness, that person cut me off in traffic, then we don't understand the disconnect. We can't even calm down enough to identify. So no wonder we stuff down our emotions and our feelings, and we don't know how to answer the question, what is it that I really want? What is it that I need? We're just surviving over here. And so why am I sharing all this? Because being able to regulate your nervous system, it starts just like any other problem, right? I have to admit that it's an issue, identify it, and then with love, compassion, and gentleness, truly, I start to unwind and unravel that knot of stress and try new things, try something that I haven't tried before. So the way that I personally help others with that is the ways that I have trialed and error over time for myself. And now what's cool is I've one of these people that loves to deep dive, know everything I possibly can. And I use study and information as a form of self-soothing for me, good or bad. It results in that I have this information that I'm able to pull. So if I have a toolbox of nervous system regulation, my toolbox is pretty full. And so I love to share those things. For example, things like yoga, things like breath work, meditation, tapping, talking to a friend, journaling is a big one for me. I also like just being out in nature, putting my feet on the ground, grounding techniques. I do red light therapy and meditate. And there's others too, like with human design, the way that I've noticed it helps with my nervous system regulation is it can help me identify where I'm not being myself. So in that system, it says this is the not self theme of your chart. And when it says not self, it's kind of a weird human design word at first, but literally all it means is this is not who you were designed to be. And therefore it's going to drain your energy. It's going to help you never know how to be confident, right? You second guess your decisions. It's going to show, like, one of the centers, for example, is the root center, and it's about pressure. An example of how this helps my not self, what my design says is not me, is to put a lot of deadlines or pressure on myself or take pressure from other people to get something done at a certain time in a certain way. That's not me. That's not how I'm meant to work. And therefore, when I feel the pressure from an outside source, when I feel like I have to do something, I should do something, or else, it becomes so stressful. It's this pressure. And guess what? If I have that pressure and I keep trying to run from the pressure and I'm doing things because of this stress and this overwhelm of like, as soon as I get it done, I'm going to feel better. As soon as I get it done, feel better. But guess what? The work is never done. And this is not for me to figure it out. It's not, okay, on Friday when this is over, I'm going to feel so good. No, on Friday when it's over, the next thing that's looming is coming and I never get a chance to rest. And so what happens with me is I'm going to be pushing pressure on myself. I'm not acting as I'm meant to. I'm draining my energy doing this kind of thing. And then all of a sudden I have adrenal fatigue and I didn't even know I was stressed. So those are a few examples of the tools that I have that I've unwound and worked through just over time. And I am trying on this masterclass. Actually, it starts today. If you are listening to this in the morning, it's at noon. We'll meet on Zoom and we're going to start unwinding. I have 4 sessions that I'm giving away for free. And it's going to take you from everything we've talked about today. If this is something that resonates with you, this is a way to start filling your toolbox on the actual what is this? What is breath work, and how do I actually do it? How do I use the overwhelm that I'm feeling and take that pressure from the outside and not make it mean I'm getting sick or stuck in fight or flight mode? So the first day today on May 30th at noon, I'm going to be teaching about how you can create calm through mindset work in just 3 quick steps. And that one, we're talking a lot about overwhelm and pressure. The next day, we're going to skip the weekend, but on the 2nd of June at noon, I'm going to talk a little bit about easing stress and boosting your energy with just simple shifts. And this will be around moving energy in your body. And this could be as simple as walking, but I'm going to show you lots of different ways how. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the nervous system so that you understand how yours is working and where you are with it. On day 3, on the 3rd of June at noon, I'm going to share the simple secret system. I'm going to talk about human design and give you that nice overview so you can really apply it for yourself and how to use it. All right. And then the final day on June 4th, it's our bonus session. I'm going to do a free live meditation, live group coaching for anyone that's there live. You can come to this meeting with any question. Even if you don't get to all 3, if you have questions for me about human design, about stress, about overwhelm, we're going to do a Q&A and really dive in there. That one's going to be 11:30 Central Time. That was a change from original. I'm really excited to bring this to you and to help you start really feeling confident that when you notice my body's not feeling the way it should, or you start like not enjoying life, the joy isn't there, I want you to be able to have what you need and how to do it. I want to do that for free. I think everyone deserves to have a few simple tools to move through getting back to your rest and digest. And why is that important? Because we all are striving for something. Again, maybe you don't know how to answer the question, what is it that I want? But maybe a sense of where you're going. Maybe I just want to feel less stressed. I want to feel like the flow of life. I want to enjoy my moments without thinking about the future or stressing about what I should have done, could have done better in the past. I want to help you come to this present moment and think clearly and become the you that you were always meant to be, showing up as the person who you want to be, who you've always been. It really does take getting out of your own way and taking care of this stress, not ignoring it, not ignoring your feelings, and letting them just be part of your human experience. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. If you're listening to this and the masterclass has already started or it's over, be sure to check out Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert, the Facebook group, or you can check out my link that's in the show notes and see what's coming up. I have workshops. I'm going to be launching a 6-week coaching program. It's a group program, very low cost. If you want to just try on using some of this stuff in everyday life and have some of that support, a mirror to get started with it so that you can, use me as your training wheels, and then off you go with a less stressed or more ways that you feel confident in getting rid of the stress, right? So there's lots coming up. If we're in the middle of it, you can still register, and I'll have the replays available for anyone that registers. So don't miss out on that. The other thing that's going on is we're wrapping up May, and I have a drawing that's coming up. So the ways that you can get in the drawing, I think I mentioned them last week. I've got this community pampered chef party going. So if you order from that in May, if you submit a question for the podcast, something about human design or coaching, something that you want more information on, I will weave that into an episode for you. If you share and rate, like, review, tag me on social, anything about the podcast to get the word out, then you'll be entered. And then, of course, entered when you join or register for the masterclass and for every session that you attend. So I am excited to give away this mini human design reading. Maybe we could do it as a podcast episode as well. I would love that. So make sure you get your entries in. That's about all I have for you today. I hope to see you at the masterclass. And if not, I will see you right back here next Friday. And until then, have a great one. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your takeaways, subscribe, or even leave a review to help others find the show. For more tools and insights, visit my free Facebook group. And until next time, keep embracing exactly who you are and move forward one inspired action at a time.